Hello and welcome to Vikings Territory Breakdown Podcast. I'm your grizzly host, Joe Oberle, senior writer at VikingsTerritory.com and PurplePTSC.com, and that's Mark Craig. He's the NFL Insider Vikings writer, Hall of Fame voter from the Star Tribune and StarTribune.com. And well, here's the situation that, and you pointed this out to me. Excuse me, Andrew Kramer from your paper had a story earlier in the week or last week about saying that the Vikings are the oldest team in the league with a snap weighted age of 28.3, which is breaking down how many snaps your guys get and how old they are. That's a concern. I mean, part of that is they had to backfill the roster when Kyrie Jackson passed away, and then Mekhi Blackman got injured for the season and other things, and then they needed a guard. So they brought in some of these older guys, which certainly changed that. But that's still your roster. They've got some work to do there, don't they, Mark?
Well, this happens when you can't draft. This happens whenever your draft record starts piling up where you can't do it. You're not good at that part, and that's why I don't care how many picks they have this year. They got to hit them. You got to hit. It's otherwise you can't. You're gonna be going out and get. Oh my God, we need a corner. Let's go get Gilmore for $10 million, $15 million. We need Shaq Griffin, who's older. Got to get him. Piece him in there. Harrison Smith obviously was 35 this year. So, that's, still a quality player, but had they hit on Lewis Seen, Harrison Smith probably doesn't get to make that decision that he's coming back, because they would have been, we've moved on. We've replaced you. So, yeah, whenever you keep missing in the draft, you're going to get older and older and older. Now, to Kwesi's credit, he did a pretty good job, plugging in some holes, and so.
Right, but you make the point is that you've got to hit on the draft, and that's Kwesi's job, and he still doesn't at least hasn't been announced that he has been extended. At Kevin O'Connell has. Is you think this is coming into it? They're just or what do you think's going on there that they haven't signed him? To an extent.
Well, that's a good question. I think they're thought of highly. Wilfs think highly of both of them. I would expect that Kwesi will get extended. I don't think it would have anything to do with let's see how he does in the draft this year, because you really can't evaluate the draft until, like I said, they're, right now there's not a lot being said negatively about the Dallas Turner trade, but if Dallas Turner is just a bit player and doesn't take another step in year two, I would start to, clang the bell on that. You gave up second, third, fourth. They give up the chunk of this year's draft to go up and get him when you could have got, Jared Verse or, there's that one's going to, that I'm not going to say that, we're certainly not going to lump that with the Andrew Booth and Lewis Seen and all that stuff.
Right.
But, that one needs to start looking better pretty in a hurry here, I would think.
That's a great point. The first one was a washout. That was just a bad draft. The moves he made, and admittedly, Kwesi has said they were trying to do too much or whatever. I don't know what excuse he gave, but the second draft he had was better, but not marginally better. I mean, only marginally better. And this third one, he's got a hit. He's got J.J. McCarthy got injured. He's got Kyrie Jackson, who passed away tragically, and we've got Dallas Turner, who only got on the field. Well, he got on the field a bit and started making headway by the end of the season, but not what you'd want from a draft play. You're trading that far up for. So,
this is draft 4 for him. So,
yeah,
you should be really enjoying the strength of that first draft. Well, it's gone, and obviously, Jordan Addison was a fantastic pick,
Yep.
But you've got to be hitting more consistently, and that's where you're going to end up being older, and you're going to end up having to, piece together a roster through free agency and through 1 year prove it deals and 1 year your old deals and stuff like that.
The shine's really come off that 14-3 season, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's like I said, I've said I've never seen the perception of a team or a quarterback change more quickly in 8 days
Yeah.
than it did for the Vikings. And what it'll do for me going forward, I don't think I'll ever pick anything. 8-1 is going to be my prediction for the rest of my life, I think. I might vary the ties. I might go 7-7-3,
Oh, okay.
something like that. But it's when they go out and they make moves in the off season, it could if you got the right, like with Flores piecing, with Flores' eye on the defense, didn't give him enough respect when he added those 3 primary guys on day one: Grenard, Van Ginkel, Cashman. Looking back on that, it's like, wow, what a haul that was on day one of free agency for the Vikings. And at the time, you're like, yeah, okay, nice players, but that they need to do stuff like that again, because they don't have, they got to hit some draft picks.
They got 4 or 3, and then
they'll probably end up with the
fourth for Kirk. The one that they get.
So but you can still get a pretty. Obviously the Chiefs and the Eagles and these Ravens and all these teams that are flagship franchises prove that they can get guys. Just because you don't have one in the top 10 doesn't mean the guy can't be an all-pro, or be a really great player. So, I'm not a fan of like trading down and we got a second and 2/3. And what did you give up? We don't know. So to me, going out and finding some young free agents and spotting them help, through guys like Flores and O'Connell, being able to spot that, I would say that they're spotting it and Kwesi is making it happen. I don't think Kwesi's the one that's out there spotting that talent and seeing how it fits. But that doesn't matter to me if he's able to take all the knowledge that he can get from the people around him and do the right thing. Then that's as good as having Ozzie Newsome be your GM. If you can do it and use all the people and hit, it doesn't matter if you played or you're Hall of Famer or you're a numbers guy.